Bonjour, voici vidéo 10b sur les verbes boire, conduire, et plaire. We'll put these up on the board and look at the conjugations. Boire, to drink, we've already had. Regardez dans vos livres pour les conjugaisons. Je bois, tu bois, il boit, nous buvons, vous buvez, elles boivent. Notice how that stem changes to the U in the nu and the vous form. The passé composé is an avoir verb, j'ai bu, and le futur, it's a regular future verb, so you drop the E. Je boirai, tu boiras, etc. The next verb is conduire, to drive. And we'll look at the forms here. Je conduis, tu conduis, elle conduit, nous conduisons, vous conduisez, ils conduisent. With one S, we're going to get a Z sound. Conduisons, conduisez, conduisent. In the plural, we do not hear the ENT, but you do hear the S. So, il conduit, singular. Ils conduisent, plural. Passé composé, it's a regular avoir verb. So we get j'ai conduit. Le futur, conduirai. It's a regular RE, so we're going to drop off in the future. It's a regular RE, so we're going to drop off the E, and that gives us our future stem. The other verbs that are like conduire are construire, to build or construct, cuire, to cook, détruire, to destroy, instruire, to instruct, and traduire, to translate. And I'll be putting these all in Quizlet so you can go through. Remember too that you have that verb drill website that you can also use. And the final verb is plaire, to please. We've seen this before in the phrase s'il te plaît or s'il vous plaît. If it is pleasing to you, and this verb is kind of built backwards because we're always going to say if it is pleasing to you or to us or something like that, rather than how we might say it in English. We use a slightly different word order when we use this verb usually in English. So the verb plaire, je plais, tu plais, elle plaît. Notice the circumflex there. Nous plaisons, vous plaisez, and il, elle plaisent. Again, the Z, S is pronounced like a Z. The ENT is not pronounced, so we get elle plaît, elle plaise. And a slightly different vowel sound in this part of it as well, because of how the syllable ends. Passé composé is j'ai plu, avoir verb, irregular past participle. In the future, je plairai, regular in its future form by just dropping off the E. Alrighty, some verbs like plaire are se taire, to cease talking or to become quiet, déplaire, to displease. Alright, note, however, that the third person singular form of se taire, il, elle, on, se tait, does not have a circumflex accent, as do the forms of plaire and déplaire. Of course, there's always going to be a little bit of an exception or something tricky to remember, right? We've seen that a million times. Alrighty, let's do exercise C together. Est-ce vrai? Is it true? Let's see what we come up with here. We're going to conjugate these verbs in the present tense according to the subject given. On détruire ce vieux bâtiment. So we need détruit. To destroy or to tear down this old building. Numéro 2. Le nouveau drapeau plaire à tous les élèves. The new flag is pleasing to all the students. So we get plaît. Circumflex on that I. Numéro 3. Les jeunes ne conduisent pas toujours avec prudence. Young people don't always drive with prudence. In other words, carefully. They don't always drive carefully. So we're going to get plural of conduire, conduisent. They don't drive. 4. Tu boire trop de café, tu seras nerveux. You drink too much coffee, you will be nervous. So we want boire for tu. Bois. Tu bois. 5. Traduire, vous, ce texte en français. Do you translate this text in French? So we want vous. We're going to get traduisez. Traduisez-vous. Do you translate? Numéro 6. Les fidèles se tairent quand ils entrent dans l'église. Les fidèles would be the believers or the worshipers. Be quiet when they enter into the church, or they quiet themselves, silence themselves when they enter into a church. There's a lot of different ways to translate that. So we want the reflexive on there. They quiet themselves. Ils se taisent. Ils se taisent. They quiet themselves. Numéro 7. Dans la cuisine, le rôti de bœuf, cuire à petit feu. In the kitchen, the roast beef is cooking on a low temperature. It's a little fire, but that means at a low temperature. So we want cuire, and that would be cuit. Right? Numéro 8. Cette odeur me and déplaire is our verb beaucoup. That odor displeases me a lot. It must be pretty stinky. So we've got déplaire. Present tense, you want déplaire. Oops, that goes over the E. Déplaire. That displeases me. Numéro 9. La Bible nous sur ce qui plaît à Dieu. And the verb is instruire. The Bible instructs us on what pleases God, what is pleasing to God. So we want instruire, conjugated for la Bible, not for nous. Nous is the object pronoun. It teaches us, right? The Bible is the subject. So we want instruire. I'm just going to squeeze it in here. Instruire. Okay? And I'm just going to erase this part right here so we can put one more on without erasing the whole board. Numéro 10. On construire une nouvelle maison pour nos voisins. We want one is building, or they are building a new house for our neighbors. So we want construire and on. On construit. On construit. They are, in other words, constructing a new house. All right? Those are all those irregular verbs. Take your time on those. Don't rush through those, because you're going to have activities in your workbook, a lot of activities for those. So just take your time and get those right so that you really have those down. They're all irregulars. They're going to take a little bit of extra time to memorize, but they will be worth it once you know those. All right? That concludes Audio 10B. Au revoir.